Everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Codex Legendarium, which I realized I forgot to tweet an announcement about, so I'll do that while Justin's doing the announcements. Speaking of, Justin, any channel announcements?
Not really.
Well, what did we do? What did we do on Wednesday?
Anniversary stream / birthday stream for me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, how'd that go? Tell us about it, Vamp, while I'm writing the announcement tweet.
It went fine.
You're killing me.
Good
Great
times.
vamp.
Good times.
World-class vamp.
Good times. You know.
And how old were you turning?
30.
30. Woo woo. 30 crowd.
Welcome.
Thank you.
It's taking everything I have not to sing Bo Burnham.
And that's really all that happened. And then I went to an arcade on Friday. That
Nice.
was also a bar. And
Arcades are fun.
arcade bar, and it was a $5 cover charge, and it was unlimited arcade. So like you didn't have to put money into machines or anything. It's just play all the arcade you want.
It's the best kind.
And they had Smash Bro booths, so that was cool.
Ooh, that's cool.
That was my weekend.
Very
Nice. All right, I'm good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
No announcements. So.
Yeah. I listened to 3090 from Tick Tick Boom on my 30th birthday. Yeah. I also think I have some alternatives to like Linktree and stuff for you that I've been finding that I'll send you after the session. But yeah, all right. Then so to recap, it's been a little while. The party ventured underneath the district of Dwindale, which is the more underserved district in Titan's Grave, both economically and physically, as there is a constant sinking action that's always happening with buildings, preventing them from really putting together any just like lasting structures. As the party ventured down into a well they were directed to, which actually ended up at the very bottom of which ended up being the entrance to a Draconic Union ruin. As they made their way in, they found that they fought their way past several guards and guardians, made their way through the place, explored, found a weird shell that was weird and strange and made everyone uncomfortable in a room that dampened magic, fought their way past several mechanical guardians, found another one of those programmed illusions that was left by the Draconic Union that explained some things. It explained that the purpose of that facility was to study a ruin that they had found underneath it. So it was kind of like it's a ruin protecting an older ruin. It also explained that the facility, in order to prevent like this area from being flooded, because it was kind of like an underwater ruin, the Draconic Union facility was pumping water up and away from the ruin beneath it, preventing it from settling into the groundwater, and then also kind of just creating this swampy, muddy layer that created all the ills and problems in Dwindale, and found that all they have to do on their way out is just, or at some point, is just tell that thing to just stop doing that, and it will in fact flood the place, which will flood the ruins, but it will also then make it so that over the course of the next month, the ground of Dwindale will actually solidify into more usable ground. They also found just past that room a chapel to Woot, Tedros' god, in which he had a very interesting vision gifted to him by his god. Vision of an auditory vision of the colors in the walls and sort of connections, auditory connections to each of the colors, a strange sort of slight shifting of the colors as he looked at them from more chromatic to more metallic colors, and then a vision of space and a massive, like, sky-spanning silhouette of a dragon cast amongst the stars. And yeah, that was where that ended. You all made your way around. You fought your way past the three-headed dragon robot guardian, the automaton construct three-headed dragon that was guarding the entrance to the ruin. It seemed that there wasn't too much of a way to sneak past it. Or if there was, you didn't find it. Managed to fight your way past it, which was close. Monty was at pretty low health, if I remember correctly. Made your way into the tunnel where space and everything was weird and it worked in strange ways. There was a hallway where water flowed in like a corkscrew pattern up the walls and ceiling. There was a cavern with stalagmites and stalactites that the light source seemed to cast shadows that looked like writhing tentacles in the corner of your vision. There was just a long bridge over an impossibly large chasm that seemed like it shouldn't have been able to fit in the underground space you are. Like, you're not far enough underground for there to be that much space before the ceiling. And yet there was. And also, when something was dropped off the edge, it fell onto the bridge behind them. And then there was a tunnel dripping with water that seemed to just like, the water never quite seemed to pool at the bottom, and it constantly sounded like there were just waves crashing just on the other side of the stone. Before you all made your way into a room lit by eerie green flames. The room itself covered in some sort of just glittering white crystal that sort of seemed to grow and encrust every inch of this place, along with a twisting gateway, kind of like twisting around to form a circular pattern. Gateway is an interesting term, or not necessarily a correct term. It looks like a gateway. It evokes the image of a gateway, but there is like some sort of glass-like material covering it that was cloudy. And as Monty walked up and touched the glass, the clouds cleared, and it revealed what he thought at first was a reflection, but turned out to be standing on the other side of the glass, or reflected in the glass, or it somehow represented here, was the image of Monty's father, who said the words, and this is where we'll pick up. He said, "Hi, Sully. You made it."
Yeah.
And that's where we begin. He looks exactly the same as the day he vanished. In fact, he not only looks like exactly the same as you remember him the day he vanished, except for not as hungry, not as thirsty. Like, he looks healthy. He's in fact wearing the same clothes he was wearing the day that he vanished.
Do I look older than him too then? Because I'm about 30.
Well, because you were a teenager
About 15
when that happened. Yeah, you were 15 when that happened. So like, unless he like had you at 15.
Oh, true. Okay.
Which, yeah, you're probably still younger than him, but you're still you are closer to him in age now. Like, the age gap has shrunk.
Both my parents. Yeah. Both my parents.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Yeah, he's just stunned. Doesn't know what to say.
Monty? Why does he look like you?
That's my father.
How did your father get down here?
I don't know. Yeah, voice changes.
Yeah. It's a bit of a long story, but it is good to see you. I have missed you.
Why did you leave me? Where did you go?
It was here. It was the only way to save you.
But a ship found me.
A ship found you because a freak wind and current pushed it towards that island. And your sickness abated long enough for you to be rescued.
How did you get in there?
I made a bargain or a deal.
With who?
I
I'm not sure the tattoo.
I believe you've become acquainted at this point. Perhaps it'd be more helpful if I started from the beginning.
Yeah,
Just nods.
I'd like to know.
All right. Well, this goes back quite a ways. I had heard snippets of sailor stories about sailors being saved by tentacles from the deep, visions of a massive tentacles bigger than any kraken, an eye filling the dreams of certain sailors, especially those from Gwendale, those who had come from just above where you are, I believe. I took an interest in it. It was stories always fascinated me, so I started putting the information together as a hobby. But the more I found of it, the more it started to make me think there was something to it. I was able to find out that something about Gwendale was central to those stories. I began spending time there, began exploring a bit. To be honest, I thought that I might be crazy, so I never really mentioned it to anyone, except for your mother. We could talk about anything, so I spoke to her about this. But when your mother started pushing to help Dwindale, that was something that was a talking point for us. It was a bit of conversation. That was something. She was interested in helping the people, and I had spent so much time among them pursuing these stories that I had seen just how much they needed her help, how much they were being pushed down into the mud, just needed someone to give them a second to breathe so they could stand. So, I spoke to her about it, and I started noticing that her opponents were very fervent about doing anything and everything they could to prevent any digging down here. I started to suspect that I was right about something being down here, that someone in that realist faction knew more than they were letting on. But that's when we went on our, after that is when we went on our fishing trip. The storm happened. A boat was dashed on that island. And when I noticed you starting to get sick, I got desperate. I did, in fact, venture into the island looking for help, just not from people.
Right.
I did something that that we never really do. I did something that, well, I suppose even those of us from Titan's Grave can find ourselves desperate enough. And I prayed. Your life was on the line, so I tried everything. I prayed. I thought about the stories. I called upon every bit of information I thought I could about what I had read and heard and spoken about. And I prayed. I called out to the entity that I had heard about, that I had collected stories about, that I had heard would save sailors and spare them from a watery grave. So I called out and I begged for whoever that was to save my son. I said that I would pay any cost. And I was answered. Daitema answered.
Who?
And the tentacle tattoo moves gently on your arm. He says, "The one who gave you that." Would you like the spelling of that?
And their spelling of their name is?
Yeah. Dytema.
Dytema.
M-A. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Daitema answered. She would help, but she has to follow a set of rules. There would need to be a cost. So I offered myself, my life, my service, in exchange for your life. So, anyway, I offered myself, I offered my service in exchange for my son's life, in exchange for your life. She answered. She accepted my offer. One second.
No, don't go.
Well, I guess you all level up.
Oh, sweet.
Nothing else for me to
Yep.
say about
Anyway,
that.
sorry about that. He says, I was taken away to her realm to serve her, and she was able to keep your sickness at bay. Directed a ship close enough to see your fire and rescue. And that's how you were rescued.
All right. So are you trapped in there? You can't leave?
Not really in here. This is just a window. This is a glimpse into where I am. I'm not sure exactly how to say where I am. I understand it is something of a space between. I'm not. Well, I can't leave.
Mean what?
Everything.
Interesting.
There's more, though. I can give you a bit more background on some other things that have happened to you.
That would be great.
When you were rescued, you had been touched by her influence, and her enemies can sense that. You had, I understand you took up. I've been, as much as I can, from here I've been able to watch over. And I understand that you gained a position on the Orchid.
Yes, temporarily, before there was a mutiny.
Yes, I know all about that. And I wanted to say that I wanted to tell you, years too late, but I wanted to tell you how proud I was that you managed to achieve that. But there is a reason. There were multiple reasons why that ship was picked as a target, why you were picked to be framed as Uber. If you remember, I believe, I wasn't there, I can't watch everything, I can't see everything directly, I get impressions. But I do know you were offered a choice. You were offered a choice to join the mutiny, or die, and be framed for it. Yes?
I believe so.
There was multiple reasons for that. One was your mother, getting her off the political playing field and keep her from digging deeper under Dwindale or into other plans. I'm sure you have, if you've made your way down here at this point, you have determined that the skin carvers have allies within the nobility.
I've realized, yes.
So yes, getting your mother out of the way was one. But also, going after you was a way to either remove one of their enemies or perhaps gain your allegiance. Because the Scarlet Skin Carvers are not just enemies to Titan's Grave and the Navy and life in general. They are also sworn enemies of your patron.
Interesting.
Particularly, but I'll get to that. I'll get to that. One thing at a time. Your story first. You were thrown overboard. You were dying.
Yes.
I could feel it. And I pleaded with Daitema to save you, but I had nothing left I could give. I had nothing left I could offer to save you. So, she offered you a demon. You may not remember it. You were dying, you were drowning, you were panicked. Do you remember anything between when you fell in the water and when you woke up?
I remember fighting against the waves, trying to get the chains off the captain. I was bleeding out. I drowned, because I remember my lungs filled with water. And I just remember my last thoughts were of you and my failures, and how I'd do anything to right what happened.
Yes. Daitema heard those thoughts and offered you a chance. She offered you a chance at vengeance, and in exchange for your service, vengeance in exchange, sorry, she offered you vengeance in exchange for your service and for becoming her champion.
Right.
Deep under the cold water, faced with death, and wishing to undo those failures, you accepted. But she has rules she needs to follow still. Part of those rules is that I wasn't able to contact you yet. She has difficulty communicating.
I've noticed.
I've come to understand that time is strange for her. She doesn't experience it the same way we do. And putting audible words in order in a way that can be understood by a mortal mind is a great challenge for her, so she tends to speak in very broken sentences.
She told me curse, father, vengeance.
Yes, she was able to put those three things into order. She did her best to guide you. Again, she has those rules, so she offered you those words. Curse, father, vengeance. The order of events that she wishes for you to... either the events that she wishes for you to embark on, or the events that will occur.
The curse happened.
Two. Yes, and now... Here
Yes.
we are, the second. Now that you have found me here, by whatever strange rules she must follow, we have followed them to this point, and now, when you look into those pools of water, those puddles, those washing bowls, instead of her speaking to you, I will be able to speak with you.
And it'll just be like, when she speaks, she can speak audibly for everyone to hear?
Yes.
Smiles a little bit. Interesting.
So you understand her better than when she speaks in the couple words?
Yes, part of that came with my service here, but it has just also come with the years of being here. I have had some time to get acquainted with what's happening.
And she harbors no ill will to anyone? Well...
She harbors ill will to those who deserve it. Daitema is a protector. There are... she is from... I've spent so many years rehearsing this, and yet still I find myself finding it difficult to put it all in order. She comes from beyond. Outside
Beyond
our...
what?
everything, beyond everything we can fathom, beyond our world, beyond the world and realms of any gods or spirits or anything, beyond everything that we can touch and experience is where she comes from.
Of course, of course.
How can you be beyond everything? If you say everything, then certainly beyond is part of it, right?
You would certainly think so, but apparently there is a border.
Is there any way, based on my, like, Blood Hunter training, that I could try to figure out what he's alluding to?
Yeah, I think we've talked about, like, we talked about last week, actually, that, yeah, you, when you were walking through all of, like, the weirdness and stuff.
It was, like, far realm, right?
Yeah, Monty was able to determine the influence of the far realm, the
Okay.
space beyond the universe,
That's right. Okay,
basically.
cool. So Monty will be like, the far realm.
That's one word for it, yeah, one term for it, yes. There are the realms between, the space between, perhaps there are other worlds out there, other everythings. It is the space between them.
Can there be multiple everythings, though? Isn't everything everything?
I don't fully understand it myself. Again, she's not exactly the best with words. But what I do understand is that she comes from wherever that place is. There are cracks in that border that separates our world from whatever lies beyond. She found her way in through one of those cracks, but harbors no ill will, and is in fact, I understand, not well liked where she comes from.
There's been we found some strange things in this place. There's a shell, and the guardians of this place, at least one of them, wasn't too fond of me.
That, I understand, was a miscommunication. The shell is a part of one of her enemies. And one of your enemies now.
And who is that?
The shell creature?
What the shell came off of, yes. As I said, there is space beyond our enemy. She came from there. And she is something of a refugee in our world. And what she does in exchange for safe harbor here is she guards the cracks. She prevents others like her from getting in the same way she did. And one of those, and one of the most malicious, the one that Shell came from, and the patron of the Scarlet Skin Carvers,
I was just about to ask that.
Is an entity called Malakost the Molting Expanse.
Malakost the Molted Expanse.
Molting Expanse.
Molting Expanse.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound friendly.
No. She's attempted to show me visions, and I've asked her to stop. It's unpleasant.
Can I see them?
Yes. Are you sure?
Yes, 100%. That's why I came back to Titan's Grave, is to deal with the Scarlet Skin Carvers, so any information would be of benefit.
He puts his hand up on, like, the glass again. You get the sense this is like... Yeah, you get the sense that this is more like a scrying thing than, like, this is an image, more so than, like, he's actually on the other side there. But yeah, you put your hands up, and as soon as your hands touch...
Malakost?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Malacost.
Alright, I was like, oh, that's a similar name to my Tiny Tina's Wonderland character. Anyways, I'll put my hand up on the glass.
Yeah. As soon as your hands both meet on the other side of the glass, your mind is filled with visions of... It's very difficult because you would guess is that this vision is a view into the far realm, and and things like space and distance and geometry don't exactly work in this place you're viewing. So your mind is like struggling to hang on to the images you're seeing. Like space and matter seems to like fold and unfold and like move in ways that things not only shouldn't be able to move, but you're not even sure if they're moving or if you're just looking at them from different directions. But the vision is directed towards just a massive just mass of you don't even like you can't your mind does not have the capability to describe the sheer size of what you're looking at. You're also not sure if size is accurate because things like size and distance are weird here, but all you can see is an ever expanding just eternally extending in every direction wall. Maybe you're not sure if there's like other sides to this, but all you see is just an just eternal expanse of just flaking and molting chitinous shell, constantly in a process of like flaking off and regrowing and flaking off and regrowing in just this massive mottled wall of just chitinous crab-like shell. And you would recognize that shell that you saw in the other room is a piece of this. And the vision, you're like, he pulls his hand away and you're brought back, and like you have to take a second to look around and like realize that like you're back in 3 dimensions and like things are staying still again. You all right?
Yes.
The shell up in the ruin is a piece of Malakost, one that Daitema broke off a clash the two of them had. She dropped it here when the previous, when the ones she refers to them. She doesn't actually have really words to refer to. She speaks in ideas. It's very hard to describe. But the ones who were in that space, which I understand is now a ruin, she attempted to communicate with them. As we sort of established, she's bad at that. And as an attempt to communicate for what they should be looking out for, she produced the shell. I understand that it provides unpleasant feelings and side effects when touched.
I guess
they
should be glad you didn't do anything to it.
I did touch it.
He touched it.
That's all right. It won't cause any adverse effects, just unpleasant ones. But oh, sorry.
Does this mean that Dieter might have abilities as well?
I believe he does. I believe that in the way that you represent Daitema now, he represents Malakost, and has. If I'm not mistaken, that is why he targeted you. It is possible that's why he grew close to you in an attempt at converting you.
Would you agree that he has to die?
Absolutely.
Well, it's a
Daitema
good
would
thing
as
you
well.
wanted him to anyway.
Yes.
Oh, indeed. Now, onto the words. Curse, Father, Vengeance. Daitema's power is significant, but Malakost is familiar with it and knows how to fight her. They have been... Time is strange. They've been fighting for a very long time. I don't know that time exactly makes sense to describe them, but let's just say a very long time. But he has been fighting her and her champions for that very long time. And he has grown accustomed to fighting it. He has not grown accustomed to fighting other sources of power. The curse.
Interesting.
In you, through whatever... I don't understand. I don't know if these things, the these 3 points, the things that have happened to you, I don't know if they are things that she has caused or things that she has just seen in your future. But either way, in you, she has found a champion that can give Malakost a challenge he isn't prepared for. The gifts she provides you, you'll be prepared for. The curse, you will not.
So I guess in this case, the curse is a blessing?
In a way. And in order for you to get the proper information, you need to be able to learn the truth. Find out what you really got yourself into, what I got you into. So you would need your father. Here, today. The second word.
Right, yes.
That only leaves one thing.
Vengeance.
I believe now you are ready. I hope.
Me too. What... Does Daitema do anything with the sailors that do die at sea?
The ones she rescues?
Or the ones who die?
How do you mean?
Just curious. Like, what do they... Their souls?
Ah. You're asking about the captain, aren't you?
Yes.
Daitema has... As I mentioned, she has rules, she has limits. And she can only influence and affect those who are connected to her, as I am and as you are. The captain did not take any such deal. The captain moved on.
All right.
But just, I have learned from being where I am that just because we don't kneel to gods in Titan's grave does not mean there's nothing waiting for us on the other side. Because what do we revere above all else?
The sea.
That is what awaits us.
Interesting.
Eternal, beautiful, and able to be explored without fearing its might.
That doesn't sound too bad.
No, I understand it isn't.
So you're not dead?
No, but I don't know that I'm alive.
Someplace in between.
Exactly.
You think we could get you out of there?
Perhaps, but I don't know how we would. After a fashion, I am here of my own volition. I am paying off my debt.
Is there any way I can speak and see Daitema?
Yes. She is never far away. And as he says that, there's just... he's sort of standing in darkness.
Yeah.
Like, he's standing on the other side of this thing. You're mostly seeing, like, the reflection in the glass around him, but, like, there is just kind of darkness behind him. And as he says that, you just hear just as the eye opens in the darkness behind him and illuminates the space, and you can just see just the writhing mass of tentacles just filling the space behind him.
Cool. Hello.
No response.
Yeah, I figured.
Mhm.
Monty, that's the thing that you're connected to?
Yes. Okay. I just wanted to say thank you for everything. And
Yeah, I just kind of like blinks at you.
what's a pupil like? Is it just like a big humanoid-looking eye?
No, not quite humanoid. It's almost the pupil in the middle is almost diamond shaped
Okay.
with like inward curved edges to it, and then like kind of almost like moving away from the four sides, almost like patterned speckles of black, and like moving kind of like moving and like trailing off away from the pupil in the middle.
So weird.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And when you look at them, they're never when you look at those specks, they're never in the same place twice.
And the tentacles are they
You don't see them.
Okay, and the tentacles are they like the ones that I summon that they're red and fleshy and covered in also eyeballs?
They're not also covered in eyeballs, no, but they are the same, very similar to the
Just
to
like
the ones you summon. Yeah.
wet red flesh. Okay.
Yeah.
See, Tedros, nothing to worry about.
I understand she looks frightened, but she is. It's a product of where she's from, and she is, well, benevolent. She keeps us safe from much, much worse.
Is there a way to kill Malakost?
If there is, I don't know it. Especially because, in terms of creatures like him and her, I don't know that alive and dead are concepts that apply to them either.
So we banish it?
Malakost is elsewhere. Malakost has not made his way in. There's a reason why he deals in champions and works through the Scarlet Skin Carvers. They are working to bring him in,
So
but they have not succeeded.
stop them, stop him.
Yes, more or less. Yes.
Momentarily, at least.
How
Yes,
did
the
it
fight-
get here?
The shell. Oh, that was Diatema broke that off in a previous conflict of theirs, and she presented it. She dropped it into the cave, presented it to the ones that built the facility up above.
Do you know much about them?
I don't know. They come from far before my time, and she is. I understand there was a misunderstanding where when they received the shell, they understood its malicious nature, but instead of taking it as a warning, they interpreted it as a threat and walled off this place and shut their ears to her. So I understand she doesn't quite like them.
So, what if we get rid of any other? So the shell is an artifact of his, like it's tied to him in some capacity.
It's a piece of him. It's a molted piece of his shell.
So would the Scarlet Skin Carvers be looking for it?
Perhaps. I don't know that they would place any terribly much value on it. I don't think that Daitema would have thrown it out to be
True. Okay.
received as a warning if it was something she was afraid of them getting their hands on.
Also learned that something down here is doing something. Something down here is the reason that Dwindale is sinking.
Yes, I understand that as well.
Do you have any idea what that could be?
Well, you got told what it was. It's the ruin up
Oh,
above.
that's right.
Yeah, the ruin is just like part of its like function is preserving this area underground, which directs the water upwards.
Do you know if there's any way to stop that?
If there is, it's within the place where you just came from, and I have very little knowledge of that.
We discussed flooding in the place.
That wouldn't be a terrible idea.
what about you? And this?
This is a altar built by Daitema's followers in the past. She was much more popular a long, long, long time ago. But this is just a place. This is stone and salt and a place that was built in her honor, but as far as me, I'm not really here.
Are there other altars?
I believe there are, yes. I don't know where they are, but they are. You could potentially find them. But as I said, as far as our ability to communicate, now that we have spoken as we have here, we can speak whenever you like.
Good to know. I have lots to do.
Yes, you do.
Any suggestions?
Well, you wear the skin carvers. They will be. I believe they work for Dieter.
They do.
And expect him to be more capable than you are anticipating. He will have gifts in the same way you do, though different ones. But he will be gifted nonetheless, and not just some sailor that you can walk up and bash over the head. Well, you can, but I believe it will take a bit more. It will be a bit more challenging than just your average sailor.
Would there be any way to expose him before killing him?
Potentially. If there was, it would be... If he is stupid enough, he will have left behind communications, correspondences, documents, things that connect him to the skin carvers and their friends in the nobility.
Well, I'm not sure if you're aware, but he's doing this ceremony, some sort of party. He's bringing people in to look for prospectful people to marry.
I see. Well, I would take that to be encouraging. If his plans were anywhere close to completion, I don't think he would be worrying about things like that. So it leads me to believe he plans to settle in for some time. But whatever he's doing, I assume it isn't good. I assume it has the goal of bringing Malakost into this world.
When you served in the Navy, did the Navy ever find out where did they have any leads on where the Scarlet Skin Carvers might have been setting up their headquarters or anything? Operating out of?
No. We're not sure if they even... Honestly, we're not sure if they even do operate out of anywhere. They may just... My running theory was they just lived on their ships.
I just wonder now if they're calling Titan's Grave home completely.
It's possible, though I understand that I faced the Skin Carvers a few times, and the ones that I faced, polite society did not seem like their natural environment. I would guess that the rank and file, the ones that give themselves over fully to the influence of Malakost, the ones that you may have fought and seen, I would assume that they have not been able to find their way. I would assume they are not in Titan's Grave itself, but other more patient followers, Dieter and anyone else he's working with in the nobility, will have made the home in Titan's grave.
Does Daitema know anyone who's still alive in the service of Malakos that isn't Dieter? Anyone else of note?
Not that she has communicated to me. It's possible that she can... Dieter is a champion of Malakos. He is similar to you in that regard. He is directly connected. However, that also makes him stand out like a beacon to her.
Oh.
One does not need... What?
Oh.
Yes. And it works in reverse as well.
Is that how he knew that I was in Titan's grave before?
That would make sense.
Well, does that mean he knows you're here now?
Probably.
I would say likely, yes.
Interesting.
Well, Monty, I don't think you should try to go to the events anymore. I mean, we thought that you looking different could be a good disguise, but
I doubt he would try anything in that environment.
Yeah, your father is giving a similar thoughtful look, and he says, "Last time you were here, he came personally and he attempted to scare you off. This time, you have caught him in the middle of party season, where his every move is being watched by gossip mongers. With his influence and nobility comes the restrictions of it as well, the eyes of the rest of the nobility he wishes to fit in with. I would say that despite the fact that he's surrounded by people and difficult to get to, you have, in a strange way, found him at his most vulnerable.
Good.
Yes. Also, and he actually looks away from you to the others in the room with you. He says, I'm terribly sorry. I don't believe we've been introduced. I was a little caught up.
Sorry, I'm Yulyanya, of the Valley. Yul's gonna go up and just like put her hand on the glass instead of like shaking hands.
Mm-hmm. He'll mirror the gesture and says, "Lovely to meet you, Yulyanya of the Valley. I'm Oscar."
Your son is the first friend that I've ever had, and he saved me.
Somehow I'm not surprised. I wanted to thank all of you for keeping my boy company and keeping him safe. Even though he may not think that he needs it.
He needs it.
Allies will be another great help in your fight against Dieter.
I've come to realize that.
And how is your mother?
I'm not too sure.
Still alive?
Yes.
Good.
But I feel like this whole situation has gotten to her.
I can imagine.
We did meet with Lady Stanway, who organized a meeting between me and Mother and Safe Company, but...
Of course she did.
She did tell me that Aditya is coveting Marietta Veer.
Hmm.
That's all I know.
Even cut off from the courts and locked away in the house, she has still managed to find her way to useful gossip.
We also learned that Dita has been spending lots of time with Lord Mumbleton.
Well, if that's the case, then perhaps Lord Mumbleton is an important and a good person to look into if we're looking for noble allies.
He was the leader of he's the leader of the realist faction.
And that was your mother's greatest enemy in terms of blocking her and investigating Gwendale.
So you're saying we should talk to him?
I would be careful, because if he is connected, then he may attempt something rash if he feels threatened. But an important lead to follow up on, nonetheless.
We could break into his manor and look for evidence, correspondence.
That is true.
No.
I mean, I feel like rumors, evidence of correspondence enough, right?
Rumors... political... There are lots of rumors that always float around political courts. Some are listened to, some are ignored. Depends who orchestrates said rumor.
Depends on how they're used and said, and things like that. In terms of anything official, hard evidence is usually preferred.
So we could break into his manor and look for evidence. It's in a lagoon, so...
True.
Would that be a better idea than just pretending to be someone that he would need to talk to for some reason?
Probably.
Well, I mean, I don't know him.
You've been given a lot. So,
the lagoon could be connected to Malakost. Who knows?
possibly.
It's worth looking into, though. Before going to the soiree, which is the night after next.
Very true.
I believe it's still the night after next.
Yeah.
Okay. August 31st? August.
Mhm.
Get as much information as we can before we go to the soiree, just in case things need to be presented. And just in case things go sideways.
All right. Well, if that's what you want to do, I'll go with you.
But first, I have something personal to do. Once we get out of here, that's about it.
All right. Before you go, I wanted to say something to all. Sally, you included, as well as your friends. All of you have, I understand all of you have enemies. You are going to need to stick together if you're going to defeat them. All of you are people who, for all of the intent of fate, it seems, were supposed to drown, overwhelmed by and swallowed up by the world and your enemies. Those that you know about, those that you don't, and those that you haven't made yet, but will. Together, you'll keep each other afloat. You already have. And soon, you'll learn to swim, and then you'll learn to sail, and then you stay together, command the very tides together. Powerful enemies wait for you out in the world, hidden and waiting to strike, and they will strike. They will come to regret it. They will come to regret lighting the fires that forged you, and continue to forge you into what you will become.
I don't think I have any enemies. Except maybe the hag.
As I said, some enemies are old, some enemies are new.
And I guess whoever took my family. But I just don't know if they were taken or if they left, so enemies to be discovered.
Indeed.
Oh,
Thank you for this information.
I have been waiting to give it for years now. It is a pleasure to finally get to speak.
it's been a very long time.
It hasn't. I've missed you.
I've missed you.
Now you don't have to talk to your lizard in that weird way.
Right. Thank you.
Well, whenever you leave this place, just remember it's not goodbye. I am always with you.
I know.
I mean that literally as well.
Yeah, I know.
Speak with me whenever you like. Yes.
Well, we probably ought to go.
Yes, things to do, people to kill.
Of course. Civilizations to save.
More or less, yes.
We should flood this place, though, I think, to save Dwindale. Like you said, this place is just salt and stone, so...
Exactly.
People are more
I know
important.
that'll be disappointing for Tedros.
Hey, this won't be my last chance to see what was left behind. I would much rather do something for your people than to
Well, and
keep
maybe we
one of
can
many.
find, maybe we can find one of the other altars.
I'm sure we will. I'm starting to get the feeling that that might be something I need to do anyway. So
I would like to find more altars to Daitema, just to learn as much as I can, if possible. And also learn more about this Malacost.
Does it seem like Daitema is the only one who knows about Malacost, or did the people who came before know?
I get the sense that she attempted to communicate his importance to them, but they did not listen.
Well, we do know there are people out there who do know of Malacost, and
Yes,
They
the
must-
skin carvers.
they must be stopped.
Yes.
Well, I'll talk to you soon.
Please do.
Oh,
Great to meet you.
You as well.
it's nice to meet you.
Yes.
That piece of Malakost's shell, can we just leave it there, or do we need to do something with it?
It's unpleasant, but he holds no influence over it.
Plus, if we
Okay.
flood this place, then it's kaput, right?
Yes.
All right.
All right. Put my hand on the glass again.
Yeah, he puts his hand up and matches.
Talk to you soon.
Sir Monty's dad.
Looks
Talk to you
like
soon as well.
Will Turner, but an orc.
Yep. Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom. Goodbye for now,
Bye for now.
and I'll walk out.
He just kind of like turns around and just seems to just like walk into the darkness and just kind of fade from view.
Alright, let's flood this place.
Yeah.
I think
How do we do that?
No idea.
I think I can do that.
Excellent.
Really?
Well, not me directly. More of a asking for it to be done.
Good.
Whatever. Think of the entity I was speaking to as the manager of this space. I can ask the manager to shut it down.
Oh, you'd like to speak to the manager.
In a manner of
Gordon
speaking.
Ramsay it.
Wonderful. Hopefully that does it, and hopefully we can get out of here unscathed. I think we actually knew that it would take a while to flood, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I think
think
it's going to take like a month. Yeah.
Okay. Well, no time like the present.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
start making our way to the surface. Or
Okay.
wherever.
So you make your way out. You go back through, go back up those stairs. Also, as you get closer to it, the like white crystal that encrusts this entire place. As you walk by, you can tell it's salt.
Oh.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. You make your way back up the stairs, make your way through the tunnel with the sound of crashing waves, you make your way across the massive, impossibly large chasm, make your way through the room with the stalactites and stalagmites, make your way through the tunnel where the water flows in a spiral, and yeah, you can see now you're walking towards the door again. You can definitely tell that there's like that weird stumbling that happens, but you can tell, like, you can see the doorway at the end of the tunnel, and you can see that doorway just kind of rotating as you walk. As you can tell, you are walking up and around the walls and ceiling in like a spiral pattern as you make your way over. You make your way through the door. You can see the destroyed three-headed dragon automaton in front of you, and you're back in the Draconic Union area. Would you like to... And you said you wanted to go back over and speak to the programmed illusion?
Yes.
Okay. Get over to it, present your holy symbol, and it appears in front of you and says, "Hello, how may I help you, Dracon?"
Some time has passed, and there are people now living above this structure. Unfortunately, that means that the instability due to the water pumping is making their lives difficult, and so, as per the regulations of the Draconic Union, I would like to stop the pump system and allow the space to be flooded.
To confirm, you would like to cease. To confirm, you would like to cease pumping operations and allow water to enter into the facility in the ruin below.
Yes. Is this process reversible?
It is reversible, but after enough time has passed, the water may do enough damage to prevent it from being reversible.
Yes, I would like to cease pumping.
Okay. And as you say that, it's like, you know, when you're in a room and the air conditioning is running, you're not exactly conscious of it. It just kind of fades in the background noise. But then when it turns off, like, you can hear the silence. It's like that. There was just like the slightest rushing, rumbling noise that you weren't even aware of because it was so faint that just stops, and you suddenly find yourself in just perfect silence, followed by just like then the sounds of dripping water.
All right. Well, the space isn't going to spit us out itself, so we should probably should probably get going.
What should I do with this skeleton that I'm wearing as a backpack?
Keep it as a souvenir for your dad to play with when you get back.
Hey, it looks good on you. You could just keep wearing it.
It might seem weird, but I would really like to take a look at that. Honestly, something like that might be useful as a protector if we could get it working again.
Of course.
Something we could just keep on the ship that will take care of problems while we're away.
Of course.
Maybe not as a protector, maybe not with like the electricity, but I don't know, maybe we can get it to
That's a
do
good idea,
something
actually.
else.
I'm gonna not have it bear on my back like it is right now. I'm gonna conceal it under my cloak and my my big like wolf hide cloak that like trails in the ground, just to like completely conceal it.
Okay.
So like just do some swapping around.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you want anything from the three-headed dragon sentry?
No. I think if we spend any time looking at that, I will. We have other things we should be doing, though.
Is it made pretty much out of all just that same sort of like tinfoil type material?
Only the skeleton thing was made of that like super thin, like not tin foil, but like soda can.
Sorry,
thickness. Yeah, like pretty much aluminum.
Yeah.
You don't know if it's exactly made of aluminum, but it's like that same kind of like thinness. Everything else was made of like much heavier, thicker metal. Like the dragon and the two door guardians were both made of much heftier material.
What do they look like? Like, what does the dragon have like facial features?
I mean, yeah, it's like the heads are like sculpted dragon heads.
Sick.
Mm-hmm.
So just leave the dragon remnants down here to flood.
Just saying, if it looked like it had some sort of like fun trinket on it that would be easy to just take, you would.
You would probably actually be able. So it is still, its body is actually made of interlocking scales. So you probably would be able to just like wiggle and pull a scale off.
She yoinks a scale.
Yeah, it's funny. So it's like looks like a regular scale for the most part, like on the part that would be exposed, but the part inside of it is just kind of like loop, like little like hooking loops, almost like the part of a door hinge that like the part the pin goes through. It's like it's kind of like that on the other side.
Cool. Slips that into her bag.
Then now you have a piece to study.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm trying not to get too attached because I know we have to leave, and I don't want to. Give me 5 minutes, and Tedros runs back to look at it. After all, and he'll just kind of like give it a once over and see how much he can understand about it.
Okay, give me a Tinker Tools check with intelligence.
That's dice would be helpful. I can roll dice. Sometimes I even roll dice and get the number I want. I would like a 20, please. Dice. Can I have a 20? That's not a 20, but that is close. You said with intelligence?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and proficiency because Tinker Tools, yeah.
That is 21 total.
Nice, okay. So you just wanted to like poke through it and see what you could understand about it? Okay. You don't have a ton of time, but what you can tell by poking around it, and like it's been kind of smashed open, so you can kind of like start dismantling a little bit and peeking in to get a closer look at it. What you find is that it doesn't seem to have any sort of very similar. It was much more stark on the skeleton thing made of lightning, but it didn't seem to have any sort of like power source. There's no place to like burn anything or do anything. So presumably these things are animated by magic in some way. Is what you find, is that magic is part of how they are created and animated. but beyond that, the parts still need to move. So looking at it, you just like you can just nerd out over the intricacy of the engineering in this thing. It's all like levers and pistons and gears and like all sorts of just tiny, intricate, delicate metalwork that allows for things like something as simple as like all of its claws are able to move, and you can like bust open the arm and you can see like the small little like the tiny little like rods that attach to things and then like connect into other stuff that like makes its way along the arm and like goes into like parts in the chest where things would like be able to move and turn that would have like control over those fingers.
It's like when the T-800 pulls off the skin in Judgment Day, and it shows off like all the. Yeah, he shoves a single mana tear and then walks away from it, so that we can not be in here while it starts to slowly fill with water.
Yeah, it's like in the amount of time it took you to do that, like you can like start to notice just like small puddles forming in like the corners of rooms and stuff.
Yeah.
We make our way out.
Okay. As you leave and pass by that one fountain that you saw, water, it's not like spraying out like it's like a functioning fountain, but water is just kind of like bubbling up from the fountain part and just like very slowly spilling over and starting to fill like the fountain basin. But then eventually will start to flow over. Yeah, you make your way out. You can get your way to the well, where I believe you still have a rope tied off.
Yeah.
And then you can just climb your way out.
All right. What time is it? What does it look like? Like time of day? Like.
At this point, it is probably like as you're climbing out, you can see that it's like either getting dark or it's like the tail end of dusk, basically. And as you're all climbing out, and you know make the first one of you like hops out of the well and lands in the mud. You just hear off to the side, man, move in. Oh, you're back. As Cadence wakes up from where he was keeping watch. He's just like leaned up against a fence post.
It was super dangerous. Good thing you didn't come.
It was dangerous. It's dangerous down there.
Yeah, there was a lot of bad stuff that happened. It was real bad.
Right down there, like under where I live.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I went to open a door and then I got hit.
Should I be worried about
No.
No?
Not anymore.
In fact, there's a lot less you'll have to worry about now that we're done.
How do you mean?
We fixed your problems.
Basically.
Thank you, but which ones?
The sinking.
What do you mean?
Big one.
What do you mean you... Wait, what?
It won't sink anymore.
What won't sink anymore?
You.
In about a month, the ground will be what it should be for building and constructing things, and you will not have to worry about essentially constructing on top of your old stuff all the time.
The ground will be what it should be. What does that mean?
It won't be mud anymore. Muck.
You fixed like the river?
We'll go with yes. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. I've seen you kill a troll. Sure, that's a thing you can do. Why? Yeah.
The ruins down below were like pumping water up or something, and it was causing all your problems, and we fixed it.
Yeah.
A simple redirection of water is what I'm told.
Okay. I am going to... I'm not going to lie. I'm going to keep that... I think I'm going to keep that bit to myself for a month until... Because you said it would take a month. I think I'm going to keep that part to myself, mostly because I don't want to have to spend that month with everyone looking at me like I'm crazy, thinking that, like, just trust me, people went down into a well and did something, and now our land won't be mud anymore. That sounds ridiculous. So I'm going to wait a month, and then I'm going to tell people. But I will promise to give you credit.
That's fair.
You could like never tell people if you want.
Yeah, actually,
Doesn't matter.
it would probably be good if nobody goes down there.
Yeah.
Well, right. Fair. I was gonna say more just like telling people so that like, because like, you know, it could seem like we've had like dry spells before, you know, like droughts and stuff where like it gets pretty dry and like it dries up a bit and we're just like, oh, that's pretty nice, and then like, you know, one rainstorm comes and it's wet again. So like letting people know like, oh no, this is permanent would be a good thing, I think.
Okay.
You can tell them that there was a entity down there and that we took care of it. And with the entity gone, so are your problems. That'll probably be easier for people to understand.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, there were kind of entities down there.
Yeah, we took care of a couple.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And then there were entities that weren't really there.
What?
I still don't get it.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
All right.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
But good things on the horizon.
Good.
But we should definitely make sure no one else goes down as well.
100,000%.
Maybe I'll tell people that it is dangerous down there. Maybe that part I will lie about. Just say, nope, totally dangerous down there. Don't go down, but nothing's gonna come up. Just be afraid.
Well, technically, it's dangerous to go down there because you drown once it's flooded. So.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Plus, to be honest, I actually don't know what's the facility falling apart is going to look like, entail. So if someone somehow made it through the door, I don't know how they would,
Well,
but if someone made it through the door and went in there, there's a possibility that something could be crumbling and trap somebody down.
Yeah. Also, if you're ever curious, Tedros, I can breathe underwater. I can go check it out for you.
Ooh, cool.
I
You
actually
breathe underwater. Okay.
Yeah, I can breathe underwater.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that fits.
I
Remember the hot tub?
I try not to sometimes. But in case you were concerned, at least while we're here, I also have something to make sure that we can work effectively on the water. So
What does that mean?
So that thing that he does, it's kind of the opposite. Instead of being able to breathe underwater, I make sure that you can't be underwater.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you'd be on top. Like, you could even, I guess, walk
Like that one guy.
on the water. At least I think that's how it should work.
That wasn't a good joke.
I didn't want to. I thought it would be bad if any of us drowned. So
I
I
can't
don't know
drown.
how to swim.
That makes me feel but I can't drown anymore, which is great.
how about I make it optional for you? You'll let me know if we're
Great.
gonna be on top of the water.
I just don't want to get the bands. But also, if I can breathe underwater, can I get the bands?
What are the bends?
I have no idea what he's talking about.
I don't know if the bends have been discovered as a thing yet, honestly.
Yeah, there's no,
Like,
there's no scuba diving, right?
Yeah,
So-
it requires scuba gear and like a significant amount of depth.
Right. Well,
Like,
thanks for your assistance here, Cadence.
you know what? Happy to help. If you need anything else, just let me know.
Actually,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna. I'm not saying it's a certain thing, but I might be breaking into Lord. Look around. I might be breaking into Lord Mumble, fucking Mumble Dick, Mumble Butt. Might be breaking.
I know what
into
you're
his-
talking about.
Might be breaking into his manor,
Oh,
looking for
Okay.
evidence on conspiracy
Why are you
stuff.
going to tell him about our breaking and
Because I
entering
trust.
event?
Because I trust Cadence.
Oh yeah, it's
thank you.
How good are you and any of these other people at doing at the whole rebellion thing you got cooking up? How good are you at distractions?
We could do distractions. Rebellion's a strong word for
Maybe not
the
rebellion,
general.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, general discontent and community organizing that we do. But
you know what I mean.
we could probably manage a distraction for you, certainly.
I'm thinking of doing that tomorrow night.
Okay. Yeah, I can see. I'll see how I can put together. I'll let you know tomorrow
or even later tonight.
Okay.
Preferably before the soiree on the 31st.
Right. Tomorrow would probably be better for me just to
sure.
get people together. Yeah. Why don't I'll ask people tonight and tomorrow morning. Why don't we meet somewhere in the market district?
Sounds good.
Because I can't get to where you're staying.
Sounds good.
They don't let me across the bridge.
Yeah, fair. Sounds good.
Hey, you think we could maybe talk to some people about making that less of a thing, less of a problem? Maybe stop denying people access to
that'll have to be
large portions
that'll have
of
to be
the
a
city in which they
that'll
live.
have to be a political thing to go through, I think. And ideally, once we depose Dieter, we can get my mom back into power, and we can start putting that into motion.
Yeah. The justification I understand for that one is that, it's kind of like, well, this is where we live, and if you don't live here, why do you need to be here? And we're rich people with fancy stuff, so if we let anybody in here, it's a security problem. So if you don't live here, you shouldn't need to be here. It's
and now
bullshit.
Everybody knows why I don't lack nobility.
Yep.
But
yep.
I think
Yep.
Get rid of Dieter, get my mom back her political status, and then do what needs to be done.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, that's kind on the not being able to go across the bridge into that area of town is really I would put that at the bottom of the list of things that they do to screw us over.
Yeah.
The boat paperwork one is what really gets me, but I did anyway.
The boat
paperwork.
I
think we know about this.
Yeah, there's a thing. Yeah, there's a thing where because I don't know if you've noticed that we don't have any bridges connecting us to anywhere else. So if you want to leave here, you got to take a boat, and boats are expensive. So no one really owns them, and we were just like, well, what if we just banded together and bought boats together as
and
groups,
the
as
not the essentially no carpooling rule.
Well, so it's the owner of the boat has to be in the boat. So it's more like no boat sharing.
Yeah.
But yeah. To make sure that we all have to pay for the ferries, which, guess who owns those?
Yeah. Like I said, good things on the horizon.
Good things are always appreciated.
And I've been running from it for a while, but I think I gotta embrace where I come from.
Yeah, it can suck sometimes, but in this case, I think you really do have the ability to make some solid changes. So.
Yep.
I mean,
right.
You have our support.
Excellent. Well, should we leave Dwindale for the night? Come back?
True.
Yeah?
So I want to break into Mumbleton's Manor tomorrow night.
I should probably go feed the monkey.
All right.
Yeah, you guys are pets.
Yeah, I gotta do.
Especially,
I gotta do something with Oscar.
Yeah, especially the giant lizard. No one else can feed that thing.
I got it.
And to think we asked for one cat for the entire ship.
Yep.
Yeah, we got pets to take care of. I gotta do something with Oscar. So.
Yep. Also, I will mention with Lord Mumbleton's Manor, you would be aware that given what you've heard about where it is, and you kind of know where everybody lives.
Yeah.
Lord Mumbleton is not one of the people that lives in the same district you're staying.
Wonderful. Perfect. Excellent.
His estate is out of town, further along the coast of the island.
Okay. Head back to the ship.
Okay.
'Cause I know it's docked in your back, so we had to use that to get here.
Yeah. That's how you arrived.
You two stay outside, or I think Princess is with us too.
Yeah, Princess is with you. Yeah.
You all stay outside. I want to just make sure there's nothing on ship that could hurt us, like brigands, pirates. You know, I'm good
Is that
at.
the thing we should be worried about?
I'm good at sniffing them out. Don't worry. Just stay
Okay.
here. I'll be like a minute,
We stay put.
and I'm gonna
Okay.
go to Tedros'.
Go on the ship?
Go to Tedros' workshop area that I built.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a chair in there?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna set the skeleton sitting in the chair.
Okay.
Put a little hat on it.
Nice.
Oh my god.
All right. Actually, I'm gonna set it up differently. I'm gonna suspend it above the door. So when you come
Okay.
in, it just. All right, and then
Clang, clatter, clatter, clatter.
and then I'm gonna. I know there's nobody unsavory on this ship, but I'm gonna grab Oscar
Okay.
because I didn't leave Oscar at the. Oh wait, or did we leave the
No,
pets?
no, I think you did. No, yeah, you did. You left him there, and you were just like, just don't
Right.
open my. You told the servants just like, just don't open my door.
Okay.
But I do believe that Victoria's cat is still on board, and we
Yeah,
should
eating,
Victoria's
eating
making
the
sure
rats,
that-
right? Like take
The
care of
monkey
rat
is on
problem.
board too, because I
Alright.
definitely brought it.
I'll like come up out on the deck. Yeah, it's safe. It's fine.
Cool.
No pirates, just rats.
All right.
Didn't think there.
Oh, there's a dead rat right here, and I throw it in the water.
All right, Yule scurries up into the ship and down into her quarters to check out what the monkey's doing.
Poop everywhere.
Okay. No, you left it in
He
the
has
cage. You
been
left it-
very careful not to leave anything next to the cage.
Yeah. This time you left
Smart.
him, just like surrounded. You can see just like there's
He's like in the middle of the room, just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
nothing around.
dead center of the room. You can see just like you can see just like the little scratch marks in the floorboards around, like at like a radius to see just like what he could reach for in like every direction. But
Mhm.
discover that he couldn't reach for anything, so he's just like asleep in there now.
I'm gonna go to my quarters and just not do anything. I'm gonna get ready to sail whenever the others are ready
Yeah, I
to
was gonna
leave.
say.
What am I doing?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's not. You don't even really need to sail that much.
Yeah.
Like, you do need to like bring up some sails just to get the ship moving. But you're
Yeah.
basically just like going across the harbor.
True. Just still steer the ship.
Yeah. It'd be funny. You're all just sitting there at dock. Monty's laying down in his bed, and then just goes, "Oh, wait a minute, I'm driving."
Why aren't we moving? Yeah, I'm gonna just get ready to leave.
Yule's also gonna make sure to feed the monkey
Okay.
if it's
Very
sleeping,
appreciative.
just sort of gently.
Oh,
I'll whip-
sorry. Tedros, I left a gift for you in your workshop.
Okay. And Tedros will go to the workshop.
All right. You open the door.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how he gets in there.
Let's go with a dexterity saving throw,
Fantastic.
just to see how well Tedros reacts to a skeleton falling on him.
We're gonna go with. Oh wait, am I actually? Nope. No, never mind. Dex saving throw is gonna be an 8.
Oh boy.
Okay. So that it just like lands squarely on you as you're walking in through the room. Like probably on your back. Like you probably make it in and it like lands on your back as though something is like crouched on your shoulders. So how does Tedros react to that?
He does his best to immediately like throw it off, and he like tries to like, smack it with his shield.
So one of those just like, yeah, we fucking, and then it just like clatter, 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 like smash, like skitters across the floor, and you can see what it is.
Yeah, it's like. Okay. All right. All right. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Tedros will take the skeleton and put it in a corner.
I want to move that from my inventory. It weighs 5 pounds, I think.
Mhm.
Cool.
That's
gone.
very light.
Let me add 5-pound Draconic Union skeleton to my inventory.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, I'm so mad right now. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Fine.
All right.
Where's
So you
the
make
cat?
your way
Where's-
back over
Where's the cat?
below decks,
Perfect,
like
makes sense.
just running around, just playing, hiding, sneaking.
Peeing on everything.
Yeah.
Yul is gonna try and spend some time with the monkey and see how its demeanor has changed. So,
Oh, yeah.
like, while feeding it and trying to, like, see how close she can get with it
Yeah.
through the bars of the cage.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me an animal handbook check.
Flip. Sorry, my chest of dice is stuck. Oh, wrong. Ooh, what do I add to that? 14.
Okay. Yeah, you're making like you are able. It's one of those things where it takes a minute of like just kind of like letting the monkey get used to your presence and sitting there. It's kind of like when you walk into someone's house for the first time that has like a dog, and like the dog maybe is like wary of you at first, but like once you like sit down there for a minute and just like be a presence in the room and just like let it get used to you again, it's like you can like hand feed the monkey and he's just like quietly and calmly sitting there taking food from you and seems to be
try and scratch it on the little head.
After a while, like it pretty much takes you like the full time of getting over to the, like of sailing across and docking again, but like once you're done feeding it, you just like reach over and get a little head scratch and it'll like it does that thing where like when you reach over it kind of just like lowers its head down, but then when you scratch it, it just like raises its head back up and like into the scratch. It's like what is this? Oh wait, I like this.
Oh, scritches?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Making progress.
Setting sail.
All right, yeah. So you can just pull away, turn, go over, just like go right across the harbor, and then park it over to the market district again. Park it in the market.
Park in the market. All right. I'll meet you two back at wherever we're staying. I just gotta
Lady Stanways.
take care. Well, I'm gonna go to Lady Stanley's first, and then I'll meet you back there.
All right.
Don't get into any trouble.
Hmm.
Try not to get scared by anything. If you do, it's all right. Just shout.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so y'all walk your way over to Lady Stanways again.
Yeah.
Okay. You make your way over uneventfully. You cross over the bridge. You've been back and forth enough times. They recognize you. They know you are guests in this area, so they let you through. You can make your way back.
Do I know if there's anywhere on this island that would be a good place for
It's like by the time you've like.
Do I know if there's anywhere? Oh, what's going on?
I don't know. I was just gonna say by the time you get back, it's like full on kind of nighttime, just because like with the getting out, talking to Cadence, walking over, getting the ship, sailing it over, and then like walking all the way over.
Okay. Do I know if there's anywhere on this island that has like a jungle?
This island?
Or like a place that a Komodo dragon would like?
She's gonna release him.
Yeah. Shouldn't be a pet.
Okay. Let me check real quick. Let's see. Actually, Titan's Grave, because the island of Titan's Grave itself is pretty sizable. You would know that island itself is pretty sizable, so there's like some jungle on it, but it's this island being like the capital is pretty well inhabited. The mainland of Titan's Grave, which has like no settlements on it, is pretty much just like wild jungle and is a much larger landmass, but is like a little sailing trip to get there.
I'll wait then. All right. I'm gonna go to my mom's.
You're just gonna go right over?
Yeah.
Okay.
Based on what I was
Alright.
told about Dieter not wanting to do anything public, yeah.
All right, you're just gonna test the waters.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, you walk over. You can make your way over, and you can see the house you grew up in, the manor house you grew up in. It is modest for a mansion.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing ostentatious about it, but it still has like a wrought iron fence around it. The walls are like a fairly neutral, like almost cream colored, like smooth brick. Not like brick, but like the big like cinder block style size ones. But like smoothed out.
How tall is the fence?
Probably, I would say about like 8 feet tall.
Oh, perfect. Looking at the rules for standing jumping, high jump.
Yeah.
3 plus your strength modifier. So my strength modifier is 5. So
yeah,
10 feet, and then you just clear the fence.
Yeah. So Monty just runs and then just does a high, just
8
like
feet
leaps.
in the air. Holy.
Yeah, just leaps through the air. Your boots just like barely. Your boots just like barely clip over the points on the wrought iron fence, and then you just land on the other side.
I'm gonna look around and make sure there's no like weird guards I don't recognize patrolling.
No guards or anything. When you land in the grounds, you can see that like the gardens are like tended to, but clearly like lost to weeds for the most part. Like tended to basically just means that like the weeds have been carved back to be only like they haven't spilled out over the flower beds.
Okay.
The grass is a little overgrown. Just you can like vines and creepers have started to like make their way up the walls a little bit of the outside of the house. And from what you were told, there's the main house, then there's the guest house, kind of like back on the grounds.
The guest house.
Yeah, the main house you can tell it's like dark and like it's not boarded up, but just kind of like closed up. And if you look in through the windows, you can see it's okay. What?
I am gonna go into the main house though.
Oh, okay. All right, so yeah, you can go up to the main house.
Is it locked?
Do you go up like the front? Do you try the front door?
Yeah.
It is locked. Yeah.
Oh fuck. All right. I'll try the back door.
Okay. Also locked.
I'm gonna go to the guest house.
Okay. Yeah, you would probably guess that like since your mom's not actually living in the main house, like no one goes in or out really. Like she probably just keeps it locked up just so no one just like sneaks in there and starts like squatting or something.
Yeah,
she's not looking.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the guest house and do I still have a key to the house?
No, I don't.
I
figured
I wouldn't. Okay.
Yeah, you probably
Just thought
over the course over the years. I don't think
it.
you've kept your house key. Yeah,
Okay.
something at some point.
I'm gonna go to the guest house and on my door.
All right. I was gonna say when you looked in through the windows of the main house, though, you would have seen like all the furniture is like covered in like those like white sheets to just like kind of preserve it and stuff. Like it looks like it is on just like it is in preservation mode. But yeah, you can go up to the
knock on the door.
Guest house and knock. Yeah. Yeah. Also, if you look back along the path, like through the grounds, by the way, you can look over to the fence. You can see that the gates of the fence are just open.
Yeah, but I wanted to. Okay.
I mean, I'm just letting you know, like that was an option, but like you can still hop the fence.
Okay.
But yeah, you knock on the door, and a little moment passes, and then the door opens, and your mother's standing there, and she just like looks at you, looks back and forth, and then like without even saying anything, goes just like grab your arm and pull you inside, like looking out to make sure no one's seeing you.
It's fine.
What are you doing here?
I learned some things.
All right, and shuts the door.
Apparently, there's a connection, a weird connection between Dieter and I. He knows where I am at all times, and vice versa, almost. Which means he knew I was here when I was hiding inside the house, and he didn't do anything the last time. And also, I spoke to someone who provided some insight into he probably won't do anything while this little soiree thing is going on. He doesn't want to, you know, do anything stupid.
All right. So you're saying that you can visit?
Yes. But I'm visiting for another reason. Do you have a wash basin?
Yes, of course. She'll like walk over and grab it for you, looking a little confused at the sudden 90-degree turn of the conversation.
All right. You might want to sit down.
All right. She sits down, looking still very confused.
And I apologize for springing this on you. It's going to be a lot, I assume.
All right.
I discovered something in Dwindale.
All right. What did you find out? What did you find?
Look in the basin.
Mm-hmm.
I think you two should talk, if at all possible.
She looks at you like, Monty, what are you talking? And then like the water ripples, and you hear the voice just say, "Hello, Esmith."
And that's
and then she's
all
like,
that I'm going to be doing for the rest of the night.
Okay, yeah, just sitting back and
Yep.
letting your parents have a conversation for the first time in about 15 years.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's like immediate tears, and you would based on the sound of his voice, you assume it's similar on the other side.
And that's it.
All right. Yul and Tedros, what are you doing with your nights?
Tedros is out of their level spell slots, so he can't do anything silly. But he... Do I have it prepared is the question. I might not have it prepared. No, he doesn't have it prepared, so he'll just kind of sit and think and sit and look at stuff and sort out some notes and add some details, and he will, like, between prestidigitation and mending, kind of work on that ruler to get it back into better condition.
Okay. It's a combination of like prestidigitation, mending, but also just like good old fashioned like taking a wire brush to it too. Yeah. And just like cleaning out like rust and gunk and things like that, just like carefully working on restoring it. But I'll say like over the course of like a night you can get that back into working order and see all of the markings along it. There's it helps that like there's enough markings along the way that like even for places where there was too rusted or gunked up to like they're gone, it's the same markings throughout, so you can kind of like then take them and like duplicate them and then just like kind of mark them out and like use some tools to like scratch in your own little markings to fill it up and make sure that it is accurate, and then you can get a full Draconic Union ruler.
That's my inventory too.
A ruler.
Just adding all sorts of fun things today.
You have no idea what the units are.
Can he read the units? Because it is technically in Draconic.
So it's actually let me tell you what you can get off of it. So it's not like it isn't. It doesn't have the units written on there. It just has the numbers. But what you can find is there are, over the course of this, it's like a little over a foot long. Over the course of that foot, it is broken up into 4 major sections. And then each of those 4 sections is broken up into 10.
Got it. Okay.
So it's like fourths and then tenths.
Got it. Okay.
And those are the major measurements you've got there.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you would probably check to see if the measurements that he had kind of like what he had kind of jury-rig like figured out when working on the gun. He's trying to see like, okay, well, does this match?
How accurate was I?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you could find that like you were able like I think honestly what you needed to do was like when working on the gun, you kind of needed to approximate to you kind of just needed to work with your own measurements and like approximate it and basically like take it and kind of scale it to
Mhm.
your measurements. You just didn't really know if you were scaling it up or down or anything. Um, but you can find that like given given these splits, like there's a couple places where you're just like, oh, I can see like this should actually probably be a little bit like some of these things should probably be a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, but like with the level of technology you're working with in this thing, the amount of error that you would have introduced through those measurements isn't enough to make a huge difference.
All right.
So you're like, okay, this should still be fine.
He makes a mental note to adjust some calculations in the morning and then actually get some sleep.
Okay, sounds good.
He will be trying to go to sleep when he hears Tedros.
Yeah?
I was just wondering, do you know when we are going to be able to pick up our outfits for the event?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because I remembered how we all got to describe what we wanted, and I'm really excited to see it.
Yeah, me too.
I've been thinking
Mhm.
about the whole affair, and it is a lot like the spring bean. I get to dress up fancy and go to events, and I have to act proper, but I've never actually been able to do that before, and I'm a little nervous. I'm really good one-on-one, like entertaining one customer. I just, like a big fancy event where people might be dancing, I'm a little worried I might embarrass myself.
I don't think you're going to have to worry about that.
Well, I know my dress will be pretty, but what if I say the wrong things or I don't know what to do with my hands?
Okay. And Tedros like, come on, come inside. Sit down. There are certain rules that people have made up, and let's be clear, this is rules that they've made up, not some divine edict from on high. They decided that this is what it means to be, you know, a ruler or a noble, I guess. But those rules barely apply half the time. I've come across a bunch of people who if you're poor, you're not following the rules, and if you're rich, you're eccentric. So lean into the eccentricity, I say.
I miss Galina and Viktoria. Yeah. If they were here, they would know what to do. They would tell me how to do everything. If Sister was here, she could tell me what to do.
Well, I don't think they have to tell you what to do.
But if they don't tell me what to do, then how will I know what to do?
You'll decide.
People don't really like my decisions.
That's the best thing about your decisions. They're yours, not anybody else's. As long as you're not making decisions for other people, it doesn't matter if they like your decisions or not.
What if I decided that I wanted to be the spring bean? What if I wanted to be the one who tries to get Dieter to fall for her so that I can take him down from the inside for Monty?
Well then,
It's stupid. I mean, I know Princess already has a plan, and she's a princess, so she's better to be the spring bean.
Princess has a plan, yes, but if you want to be the spring bean, be the spring bean.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for talking to me, Tedros.
Yeah, anytime.
She's just gonna run and just like hug him.
Yeah, Tedros will give her a big hug.
I'm gonna go to sleep now.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
That it has.
But hey, I learned I can do... Well, I knew I could do magic, but I can predict the future.
Yeah. Be careful with that one. So, you know how I kind of worry about what we can do, perhaps making people feel a type of way and drawing the wrong kind of attention.
Mm-hmm.
That's because I worry about people wanting to use us for their own ends. If you've tapped into the ability to see the future, that one's a bit trickier to handle. So just keep at it, but keep an eye out.
I like learning the cards because life is unpredictable. It's confusing and hard, and I don't have much control over my own life. But with these cards, I can gain some control back. I was able to find out that we should fight the dragon. Maybe it's not the best for other people to know about, but I'd really like to keep exploring it.
Keep exploring it. And you have more control than you think.
Good night, Tedros.
Good night, you.
She'll wander back down the hall.
Okay. All right. Everybody go to sleep for the night then?
Yep.
At my parents' guest house.
Yeah. It is you can, it's like, you've probably stayed in there a few times.
Oh, of course.
Not terribly often though, but like, maybe when things were like,
boring.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if your parents were like throwing a party or something like
Yeah.
that, and it was like boring, you wanted to get away, you could like go and stay in the guest house. I was also like, even stuff though, where like, if like construction needed to be done on the
You're
house,
telling
there was
me-
probably like,
You're telling me Monty never threw parties in the guest house?
Probably not.
A good boy.
right. Yeah, you've stayed in there before. Yeah, you probably remember there was like a time when your father finally convinced your mother that it was worth spending the money to like redo some of the like failing infrastructure and like support beams on like the east side of the house, and you only need to stay in the guest house for a little while the like carpenters and stuff like gutted stuff out and pulled up the floorboards and redid a section.
All right.
So yeah, it's familiar. It's not exactly your old bedroom or anything, but it is home. And you, for the first time in 15 years,
A long time.
Well, for the first time in 15 years, you spend the night talking to both of your parents,
Yeah.
and then go to bed in your own home.
Yeah.
That has not happened since you were 15 years old.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm. And you all gain the benefits of a long rest.
Excellent.
And
Back to 75 hit points.
There you go.
That's so many health points.
so many. Let's go.
Tough feat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're supposed to be. Are we supposed to be breaking into the house tomorrow?
Tonight now.
Tonight? Is that tonight?
Yeah. We're supposed to meet Cadence at the market.
Okay. Pardon me while I adjust my spell list.
Oh yeah. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Yule is now just like so interested in the cards, and is going to do augury.
Okay.
For figuring out whether it's a good idea to break into this house.
I think I need to check. So really quick, I need to check out part of how the spell works.
I think it's within 15 minutes or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Minutes,
So
yeah.
when you cast the spell,
Oh, it's the next 30 minutes.
yes, it's an
Sorry.
action you're going to do in the
Not
next
gonna
30
do
minutes.
that.
Let's go do it right now.
Not gonna. She's not gonna do that then.
Is it a good idea to break into this house in the morning?
Yeah, of course.
She
Broad
will just be practicing with her cards then this morning.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, good. All right. So you're practicing with the cards. Anybody else doing anything particular in the morning for you? Yeah, you wake up in your family
guest house
home.
bed. Asking my mother to borrow the key.
Oh, to like the main house.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Yes. And she actually goes over, and there's this. She doesn't pull it. You know she probably has one like on her person or something, or she keeps somewhere else. She actually goes into like a drawer, and like that she knows like she's very. It's not a practice movement, but it's definitely like a beeline. She knows exactly where this is, despite the fact it's like buried at the bottom back of a drawer somewhere. She pulls out an extra key, and then hands it to you. And then she says, I had that one, I had an extra made so that whenever you came home, I would have one to give you.
Thank you. Do you want to continue to speak to Father?
You actually would have found out last night that you do need to be present.
Oh.
Well, for
Okay,
that.
cool.
You can't just like set it up and
All
leave.
right. Bye. All right. I can come back if you want to talk to Father some more.
That would be lovely. Though I understand that you're busy with things, but
Breaking into
anytime...
Mumbleton's Manor tonight.
Lovely. Lovely.
Just looking for evidence, correspondence, that sort of thing. You know,
Of course, of course.
looking for things to bring up in political circumstances.
If that's the case, and you can just see those like the politics light bulb just like dings on, gears start turning. She says, "If that's the case, well, one of the biggest, if you think that he has some sort of illicit dealings involved in his political decisions, if you can find any correspondences that specifically direct him towards taking certain actions or backing certain factions for those illicit reasons, that could bring up revotes on nearly any actions he took politically over the past decade or so, depending on whatever you find evidence of."
Good to know. That is the plan tonight.
Stay safe.
I shall do my best. I'm sure the others will help in keeping me safe.
Good. I have a good group of friends, it seems.
That I do. Don't tell them I said that.
I think they could use to hear it more often, but I will keep your secrets.
I have an image to maintain for the time being. Once Dieter is dealt with, I can drop the facade.
All right. Stay safe. Thank you again. She like squeezes your hand and looks over at the wash basin that's still sitting in the middle of the kitchen table.
Just say, well, don't be rude. Say goodbye.
Goodbye again, Smith. I hope we can speak again soon.
All right. I'm gonna go into my actual house.
Okay.
Go
Wait, so you're gonna go into the main house?
through the back door.
Okay.
Go up to my room.
Mm-hmm. It is dusty and dusty. Everything's covered in fabric and like put on preservation mode and everything, but it is familiar. It's like, especially because it's been like this practically since you left. It's one of those things where it's like it is exactly
It's like a shrine.
the way it was.
Kind of like
Not exactly
okay.
Not exactly a shrine. It's more. I mean, it's like your mother like moved out shortly because the last time you were here was when you were framed. So she moved out shortly afterwards. So like there wasn't time to live in it and change stuff since you left. So it's just been left like this. It's the kind of thing where like the same floorboards still creak, and like the doors still like some of the doors they stick a little bit more, but like which one you kind of need to like lean down on a little bit because it doesn't sit quite right in the hinges. Your mother never wanted to spend money to fix that after fixing the entire eastern wing. Things like that.
I'm just gonna run my hands over all my stuff. Like, I assume Monty's gonna have like ships and bottles.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
A lot of naval diagrams, blueprints of ships.
Yep, faded. The edges have curled a little bit because through the years, but it is still all there.
And he's gonna eye one bottle in particular that has the orchid in it. I just stare at it. All right. He's gonna probably like look through his old journal that he probably kept as a kid, just writing to himself. Probably kept all of his father's like letters from when he was a sailor somewhere in here. Just reads through all those and just reminisces.
Nice.
Tries to get an idea what he's fighting for, and then heads back to meet the others.
Okay.
As sneakily as possible as he can in the daytime.
Okay. So you're still trying to sneak?
Yeah, I mean, Monty looks a lot different than Sullivan, but still trying to not be like draw attention to myself, not leap over the gate.
Right.
Just
walk out.
Walk like I belong here.
Okay. Hey, you can make your way over probably as the other two or the other three are having breakfast in the morning.
All right, barge in.
Yeah. Actually, for the other two of you, it would just be the other two, Yule and Tedros. Princess would let you know that she is going to go out and try and gather more information about some things, just talk to people and see what she can find out. So she's gonna be out for the morning, but yeah, that's what she's up to.
Well, Yule's stuffing her face.
Yeah, it is like fresh fruit, waffles.
I feel like this must
waffles
be a
and
place
pancakes.
to do like a lot of seafood for breakfast too.
Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, they'd have you can get there's like shrimp cocktail you can get, like crab legs.
Where are we having breakfast?
At Lady Stanway's house.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like envisioned like this would be the kind of place like you'd see in some of the tropics that have like fish for breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Fish. Japan has fish for breakfast a lot, and like I went to Japanese camp and had fish for breakfast. It was so good.
I want to go there so bad, but I'm gonna just walk in. Howdy.
Morning.
Where have you been?
Out and about. At my mom's.
Your mom's? I thought you weren't supposed to visit.
Just what my father said about Dieter not wanting to act on anything while this whole ordeal's going around, and it felt safe. So.
Okay.
All right, just please don't test.
Plus, I just wanted her to talk to
We
my,
should
I just wanted to talk to my father.
we should just be careful, because even if he's not going to do anything, that doesn't mean he's not watching you, and we are planning on breaking in somewhere today.
Oh, I'm aware.
Okay.
Why don't you sit and eat something?
All right. Just make sure that sea creatures can't talk to me, and I'll start
And
eating.
for the rest of the morning, Tedros will rearrange the flavors of everything he is eating with prestidigitation.
Oh no.
So just like you go to take a bite of a. Well, let's see. Let's go through. So like Monty goes to take a bite of a crab cake. What does that end up tasting like?
The crab cake ends up tasting like.
Orange juice.
Honestly, I feel like
Tiramisu.
everything tastes like mayonnaise. Just
Oh.
make everything taste like mayonnaise. All of it. Every last bit. Every last bite.
Delicious.
So just deleting the crab out of the crab cake and just keeping the binding mayonnaise in there.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. It's just like you bite in, and it's like you start with the crab cake, so you bite in, and it's just like, oh, they just use way too much mayonnaise in this crab cake. That's weird. I can't even taste the crab. That's weird. And then you go and like pick up a strawberry and you eat that, and you're just like, why does this strawberry taste like mayonnaise? Why are these what?
You go to
Tastes
wash
like-
it down, and it's just like glug glug glug
Mayonnaise.
mayonnaise.
Yeah, it's just like, oh god, I'm drinking mayonnaise.
There's a restaurant in Japan. It's called a mayonnaise. It's like a mayonnaise cafe, and their whole menu is uses mayonnaise, and there's a mayonnaise milkshake
Oh, no.
My God.
and mayonnaise fondue. But yeah,
I could have lived a long, healthy life not ever knowing that.
Exactly.
Actually, oh wait, have you ever had a Portillo's cake shake?
no.
Yes.
I don't know what that is.
Yes.
So you technically had a milkshake with mayonnaise in it.
Kill me.
Portillo's is a restaurant in and around Chicago, and they use mayonnaise in their cake, which is like one of the reasons why it's like super
that's
moist.
a common
I
thing.
did
yeah.
not know that.
Oh, really?
Know that? No.
It's a common thing to
Oh.
do that with cake.
Yeah, because mayonnaise is just like oil and eggs,
Yeah.
basically. So like it's technically just pre-mixed ingredients. And
That
that
makes
helps make the
sense.
cake nice.
I
Yeah,
am.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
mayonnaise can't be used in a dessert. I'm just
I
saying.
know. I'm just.
Drinking straight.
Oh yeah, that's just gross. Yeah,
I might
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna
that's
post
technically-
that video later if I can find it. The mayonnaise cafe because it's a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm enjoying my seafood.
Yeah, your mayonnaise flavored seafood.
I'm not eating mayonnaise flavored seafood.
What?
Unless Tedros is doing prestidigitation on everyone's food.
No, he's doing it to yours.
Specifically, like as.
Oh, mine.
Like,
Sorry, I
yeah.
thought it was
Yes.
yours. I thought it was yours.
No. Tedros just.
Sorry, I got really confused. I'm like, why is Tedros eating?
Oh no, you are under attack. You
I was
are
so
under
confused. Sorry.
mayonnaise
I was like,
attack.
why is Tedros
Yes.
eating mayonnaise flavored strawberries?
You are
No,
eating
no,
the
no. That
mayonnaise
is
from-
Okay.
Monty. So like,
That makes
eat
more
the crab.
sense.
Like Monty
Okay.
goes to eat the crab cake, and it's just
Oh,
like, huh, they use
okay,
too much mayonnaise in
okay,
this.
okay.
And then he picks up the strawberry, and he's like, oh god, why does this taste like mayonnaise?
I'll like
You
take
go
a
to
sip of
drink
my
something.
I'll take a sip of my iced tea, which is I assume what we drink here, and
Yeah, yeah.
rum, iced tea and rum. It's just like
Why doesn't this taste
Just
like
mayonnaise?
looking around like, what the? Fuck?
as soon as you look in Tedros' direction, he just says, "Breakfast is delicious, isn't it?"
I cast Eldritch Blast.
But no, once
Tedros pulls out the gun.
Oh.
I cast firearm.
Yeah, he just
no.
like looks up. And goes, okay, I'm gonna wash this down with some.
Delicious.
The drink is mayonnaise too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not the consistency, but definitely the flavor. Then Tedros winks and says, "Have another bite. I'm sure this one will be even better than the last." And he lets up once he's not going to ruin his entire
Tentatively
breakfast.
goes for it and goes, all right,
Now that one tastes normal, yeah.
that's a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, the breakfast is really good, isn't it?
Especially when it doesn't taste like mayonnaise.
No, I don't think it should.
No, it shouldn't, should it?
No, it probably shouldn't.
it would be such a shame if things weren't the way that they ought to be. Don't you think?
I don't know why you're coming after me right now.
The skeleton, you know what you did.
Coming after? What?
That didn't harm you in any way.
And this didn't harm you. It just tastes fun.
That's
What
true.
did you two do to each other?
I put a prank in Tedros' workshop.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I hung the skeleton up above the door frame so it would fall.
It did.
Monty.
And now Tedros made all my food taste like mayonnaise.
Tedros?
It's fine.
really
It's still
funny.
edible.
No, that's really
But you
funny.
didn't know this.
Yeah.
I'm deathly allergic to...
The taste of mayonnaise?
Yeah.
Doesn't actually make it mayonnaise, yeah.
I'm deathly allergic to lies.
Hey, Tedros.
Mhm.
So, I don't know if you're aware, but we got things that live here on Titan's grave. Spiders the size of houses.
Why?
They bred them to just in case the sharks ever rose up.
I'm okay.
Can you ride them?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. You're kidding, right?
just to ask anyone. That's why I'm a little scared to go to the lagoon tonight. That's where
The
they live.
what?
The lagoon is where all the spiders live. And same with mosquitoes. We do got okay. Spiders aren't real, but we do have.
The spiders aren't real?
No, I lied about the big spiders.
But why did you...
But we do got big mosquitoes. Not giant mosquitoes, just some pretty gnarly mosquitoes that hang out at the lagoon.
Why would you say there are spiders as big as you could ride if there aren't?
There might be spiders
There
as big
could
as you
be.
could ride someplace. As long as they're not here, though, I think we'll be okay.
We don't really have animals you can ride around here. Not really any reason to.
Hmm.
I did know someone who tried to ride a shark once.
Oh. How'd that go?
Not great.
Yeah. Not really surprised to hear that.
Yep. Old Timmy Two Toes is what they called him. Two Toes, sorry.
I don't know much about sharks. All I know is about the land shark. Victoria told me.
Yeah. That's pretty accurate for the water too, as far as I know.
Yeah, they're fast in the water. Faster than you can imagine. Eyes. Like a doll's ass.
Oh boy.
Is there anything else we should actually know about this whole break-in operation?
Yeah, Lord Stinky Bum sucks.
What was his name?
Lord Stinky Bum.
I don't think
We made fun. We called him all kinds of names as kids. No, Lord Tumbleton, Mumbleton, Chaswell Mumbleton. We made fun of him because no one really liked him. No one wanted to ever be around his house because where it was, and then he did stuff, and well.
So, do we know that he's not going to be in the house that we're breaking into?
He might be, but like I said, he's kind of an oaf.
But even so, I mean, we probably should try and do it when
Yeah,
he's not there.
That's why it was when I talked to Cadence yesterday. I said if Cadence and some others could provide a distraction for us, then we can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Plus, the lagoon's always kind of dark. I mean, it was in my memory, so it might still be the same. It's a lagoon, nothing really.
It's a house on a lagoon.
Yeah, never really understood why he made his home there. It kind of stunk and all the time, and like I said, the people in town never went there because
It's a lagoon.
it sucked. A lot of dead fish. And
Like old Miss Mary who lives in the bog.
I'm sorry.
What? Who?
The bog down in the valley?
What?
This is a valley.
Oh,
thing. Okay.
yeah.
No one lives in the bog except for Mary.
Okay. Who's Mary again?
Yeah.
Old Miss Mary who lives in the bog.
Got that part.
Hmm.
Why does Mary live in a bog?
Probably a hag.
Hey, well, we don't.
Witch.
she-
You know what I
She
mean.
was rejected by the valley, but I don't know why. I mean,
Each
people always
other.
told me why I was rejected from the valley and could only stay on the farm, but I don't know why Miss Mary lives in the bog.
Do
I think she likes it there.
Do you know what a cult is?
A what?
A cult.
A cult? Like OCCULT?
No.
That's the stuff like spirits and things?
No, like a cult.
A cult.
Yeah.
Just the CULT.
CULT.
I think is what he's talking about.
Does that mean?
Group of people tend to get brainwashed by their leader to believe all sorts of things. Like, oh, if we all drink this poison, we're all gonna go see a cool celestial figure.
Like the mayor? I don't think he poisons people.
I certainly hope your mayor.
I just give Tedros a look like, what the fuck? What?
Fucking no.
I want to go to this valley.
We have an idea where it is now.
I mean, outsiders don't really go to the valley. I was surprised that there was someone who'd been.
That sounds like a cult.
Um.
You don't let outsiders aren't allowed in.
Well, I mean,
it's not that they're not allowed in. It's just that they don't go.
Is it because they die when they show up?
no.
Well, people don't really make it through the bog very easily.
So the bog is keeping people from coming into and out of the valley.
Well, no one wants to go out of the valley. Besides Sister, but she's not of the valley. She's of the cove.
Of the what?
The cove. Not everyone in the valley knows about the cove. I'm the only one who knows about the cove.
What is happening?
You guys asked about old Miss Mary.
We did. We did. We did. We asked
It
for
doesn't.
this.
It feels like every time we ask about the valley, things get stranger and stranger about it.
Well, you see, there's the valley.
Yeah.
That's where I was born.
Okay.
I
Where you sprout out of the ground.
I sprouted out of the ground.
Yeah.
And then there's the cove around it. And no one in the valley knows about the cove, but I know about the cove because Sister told me.
Okay.
Do you have like elders in the valley that say like, don't go outside this time or?
People didn't talk to me. I mean, people talked about me a lot to Papa. Papa always told me not to go out of the valley, but once Sister started coming and you know, I could leave and help Sister with the troop, I talked to Papa and he said it was fine to go. But people just don't show up in the valley. That's why it was so strange that Sister came.
Oh, okay.
How did you leave the valley, actually?
Through the bog.
Yeah, but...
See, the cove is like the mountains. And then the valley is like down like an opposite mountain. And everybody lives in the valley. And then Sister came one day and she was by the farm and we started getting to know each other, of course, and bada boom, I'm in the troop. She wants me to leave, so we go through the bog. She and the troop are pretty powerful, so they were able to get us safely through.
Okay. I am going to go ahead and say something.
Yes.
This is probably the first time that I've heard about the troop being powerful. That feels like an important thing to know. That the troop is powerful?
Well, I mean, not as powerful as us, but I mean, Sister's definitely as powerful as us.
Okay.
I can bring light, and she can bring dark.
Oh, that's nice. That's real nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's really cool in our show.
Yeah.
Totally didn't say that in a really unnerving way.
But yeah, she's of the cove, and apparently the cove is pretty isolated too, so not many people come in or out.
How isolated?
Well, it's treacherous to get up to the mountains.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, that sounds at least normal. Yeah.
But yeah, the people in the cove leave the people in the valley alone, and the people in the valley don't even know about the people in the cove.
Okay. So we got to go here at some point, right?
I
we
think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we're definitely gonna.
Just
Gonna go.
mostly out of morbid curiosity. Because it sounds like there's something morbid about it.
I
About
don't
what?
know. I want.
About what?
There are a lot of things that you're describing that are
weird.
different. Different. I'm gonna say different. I don't know if they're weird
Different,
yet. You know.
sorry, yeah.
I just
Not what I'm used to.
certainly not what I'm
Valley's
used to.
really normal. There's not much going on there. People live, they do their jobs, their chores, children's play. The only thing weird there was me.
What happens when people die in the valley?
What happens when people die elsewhere?
I don't know. They get buried. Some get burned. Some get sent out to sea on little boats.
Burned?
Yeah, cremated.
Oh,
On
wow.
on funeral pyres, yeah.
we go to the bog.
Here we just feed them to the sharks.
We go to the bog.
They go into the bog.
Hold on.
Yeah.
When they die, they go to the bog?
Well, you don't want a bunch of bodies in the valley's land.
Yeah, but don't. I mean, you said that someone lives in the.
Don't worry about it, Ted. This is probably just a gravekeeper.
Is that what Miss Mary of the Bog does? Does she tend to the?
People don't talk much about Mary of the Bog. I don't know what she does. I just know that when people die, they go to the bog.
Okay.
I mean, they don't go there. We bring them there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
dead. They can't do anything.
Yes. That's that part is definitely the same in most places. I'm very happy to hear.
Not
that.
here.
Yes. Oh, okay. Your dead don't stay dead.
No, there's an event that happens once a year where the dead rise up out of the depths and come to spend time with all of us.
Oh my god.
And guess what, Tedros? That's tonight.
Fantastic.
I did hear stories once about the living tree. And I know that people did different things back then if they died, where they could somehow be brought back, but no one's allowed to go to the living tree. I don't know
I'm gonna
why.
finish my breakfast now.
Yeah. I'm glad to know more about where you come from, though.
Yes.
Thank you for asking.
Thank you for telling us. This is very
Insightful when we go there.
yes. Certainly never have I heard of a place quite like the Valley, and
One of a kind.
every time
It
you
seems
talk
like
about
a
it.
normal place. I mean, it's pretty boring. It's like lots of farmers and school teachers and
Feels like
boring people. Granted, I guess I never talked to anyone to find out if they were interesting.
I feel like the way you describe the Valley, everyone sounds very, very interesting.
Yeah. Sounds like you had a lot of colorful, joyful people with big personalities. Maybe scary. Could be a little bit scary stuff there.
There's nothing scary in the valley. Except for me. I scared a lot of people.
That's a shame.
Well, we're
That
not
is true.
supposed to come out of the ground with holes in our or horns in our head. That's just not how people are supposed to.
Well, I don't know how people are supposed to look when they're born.
Not with
Just-
horns and green hair.
I don't know. Maybe the rest of the Valley isn't quite as interesting as you are.
Yeah. Maybe you're
Thank
a cabbage. A sentient cabbage.
Or a daughter of a cabbage god.
Yep.
That's a good point. I did not. I didn't think about Cabbage God. I will add that to my list.
Yes, they're yeah. Look into Cabbage God.
Cabbage God is first on my list.
I'm gonna lean over to Tedros.
That's what I hope for.
I'm gonna lean over to Tedros and whisper, maybe that's what the mayor of the valley calls himself, is the Cabbage God. It's weird. It's weird.
So, do we need to bring anything on this mission we're going on tonight?
Your best, sneakiest shoes.
I only have 2 pairs of shoes.
Well, which ones are you better at sneaking around in?
Probably not the boots.
That makes
Princess
sense.
bought me those a little while ago, but they're kind of squeaky.
And I would say, Tedros, anything that can help us conceal ourselves.
I got something for 1, perhaps.
That's fine. I got nothing, so.
Okay. So here's the thing. In terms of what's heard, I can make sure that nobody is hearing anything around you.
Alright.
Problem is, when I say nothing, I mean nothing.
No, I wouldn't be able to hear either.
And more importantly, if people, like, it's the kind of quiet that,
Is weird.
yeah, so,
Like, no sound, because, you know, we're all used to ambient sounds,
yeah.
and then suddenly losing that. Basically, so like a deafness sort of thing going around.
Just kind of a widespread silence.
Interesting. Alright, that could be useful.
I imagine it would probably be quite useful. It's just, you know,
Yeah.
we would have to, you know, not. I'm hoping that we can kind of save that one as more of a last resort, just in case, you know,
Yeah.
absolutely necessary. But
I can make someone hear bells in their head that make them hurt.
we're gonna try not to hurt anybody.
No,
Right.
I know. All my stuff hurts, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I
I
can
got a
do
couple
things
things.
without touching things.
I can breathe underwater in case I need to, like, get in the lagoon.
So, like,
Okay.
if we needed to unlock the door from the inside or something, I could do that.
That's good. That's good.
That's actually really good. Yeah.
I can survive falling off a cliff.
Yeah. Don't do that.
I can, though. Better than anyone.
I believe you.
And I can swim really
Let's not
fast.
test
I
it.
can swim really fast, if that helps. But we're gonna be in a house. And you don't usually swim inside people's houses. I can also hear really well and smell things really well. So that might help a little bit.
I imagine it probably would.
And I can
At least you know.
also control people's blood.
Wow. Okay. That's a jump.
You want to see?
No.
You sure?
No.
You do
I'm
what?
positive.
Good people's one?
I can control people's blood, sort of.
You're a bloodbender.
Like I can prevent people from moving by making their blood sort of like restrict things.
Bending is terrifying.
I'm gonna go ahead. and
Haven't
say
used it
something.
yet though because I'm not too good at it.
And not because it's a terrifying ability to manipulate a person's body.
Yeah, that too.
Thank
I
you.
mean, is
Fine.
manipulating a person's body that different or worse than just killing them? Because we've killed people.
That's a discussion I'm not comfortable having. I don't think. I'm not sure. It's a gray area.
I will say, in our defense, the people that we've killed were very much trying to kill us.
Yeah.
It was definitely
Yeah, but
self-defense.
if someone is trying to kill us and then he uses the blood bending or whatever, then we are fine, right? Morally
Oh
speaking.
yeah. I'm well. I guess I kind of am the closest to a moral authority here. That's terrifying. I'll unpack that later. I think that whatever we do,
and I've only ever accidentally eaten a few people, so. Anyways, what were you saying, Tedros?
What I was saying is, we're going to go in there, we're going to do whatever we can to get whatever we can.
Yeah.
With the fewest number of people injured and or killed.
Yep.
Unlike back when we were in the Stone Sea, the people that we're fighting and that we might find here are
doing
not.
A job.
Yeah, they're.
No, and also if any of you are ever cornered and you're fighting somebody, suggestion or advice: look to see if they have a brand on their left pectoral. It's a certain sort of image. It's like a flayed anchor, an anchor with flesh flaying on the side of it.
Oh, is that the skin carvers?
It's the skin carvers. Each member of the skin carvers brands themselves on the pecs. So if you find somebody you want to get...
How often are we going to see them shirtless, though?
I'm just saying, if you want to make sure the person you're fighting is... You should probably kill them. Double check to see if they got the brand. If they have the brand...
Wait, kill them and then kill them again?
No. If they have the brand, kill them. If they don't, they're just doing a job.
Well, technically, the skin carvers are doing their job, right?
Yeah, but they're also trying to raise the entity that I saw.
Yeah.
I saw what it looks like.
That's terrible.
In my mind. Here, I'll draw it. And
No, you can't.
Yeah, I can't actually like draw it. It's like
here, I'll draw it. I like to imagine that Monty goes, here, I'll draw it, and then like holds his pencil like a foot above the page, and is like, wait, like as if that's where he needs to start drawing.
And then like, for extra little fun, blood starts to come out of the nose.
His nose just starts bleeding.
Right, 11.
Big time.
And then I like lean back in my chair and go, and then turn my head to Tedros and go, yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah.
What did it look like?
I think I can describe it, sort of. It's indescribable what it looked like. It's the best I can say. From what I kind of got, it was a mass of ever-expandingness. Kind of like a wall of flaking, molten chitinous shells that flake off and regrow. It's the best way I can put it into words, and even then, I can't really make sense of it.
I just want you to know that the picture you painted was quite horrific enough. Thank you.
Just imagine a massive mass of infiniteness that is flaking off. But it's like chitinous crab shells and whatnot.
I think instead I will actively attempt to never picture that.
And then you got my entity, that's Emma, who looks normal.
I suppose as normal as any eldritch being with the power to make pacts and things with people. Are you good, by the way? I didn't really ask last night, but that's a lot.
Yeah, you disappeared.
Like I said, might not even be here right now.
Huh?
He's doing that thing where he's funny again.
No, I'm fine. As fine as one can be when facing all of this.
Yeah. All right. Well,
and don't worry, I got my friends with me, so we're all good.
That you do.
So if your friend is trapped in the in-between, like your father, and yet your friend was able to communicate with the Draconic Union people, then well, How did it give the shell? How did it talk to people if it's not in this realm?
Probably the same way it communicates with me. Through water.
But then the shell is here in this realm.
Yeah, like my father said there were cracks in between, and the shell fell through one of the cracks.
Okay.
And my patron also went through one of the cracks, and is kind of protecting the cracks and preventing anything from its domain from coming through.
So why can't your father come through the crack?
Because he made a pact, made a deal.
Oh yeah.
Oh, do you think maybe when all this is over, he might be free then?
I'm not sure, but hopefully, that would be ideal. Maybe I can take his place. Who knows?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know how this tattoo works fully.
I will say I'm not necessarily super keen on the idea of you kind of floating in nothingness.
Monty, you're not allowed.
Not allowed.
You're not? You said you'd be with us and help us and be our friend, so you're not allowed?
Alright, I won't then.
Alright, well that settles that.
Unless it's against my will and I have no choice in the matter.
If that happens...
Like, apparently I made a pact against my knowledge. Sort of. Not really.
If that happens, then... I'm not very happy with your patron.
I don't think that's how it works. My father made a deal, I made a deal, so I think it's just the nature of the deals we made. His is different, mine's different.
But a deal can end, can't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I don't know when, I don't know how, but we'll take it as it comes. No sense worrying about things we can't really control.
Yeah?
So, yeah, that's the plan. Distraction from Cadence. We're supposed to meet Cadence in the market, and then,
At what time?
I forgot. Probably nightfall.
No, he said earlier in the day.
Earlier
so
in the day,
time
actually.
to like plan and coordinate. He's like,
So
he's like, I'll get the people together, but then like you need to tell him like what
Yeah.
to do with them and
Right.
stuff.
So earlier in the day, earlier today, or sometime today before nightfall, preferably early, so we can plan in the market with people and stuff.
Alright.
Go get ready?
Yeah, let me just finish some more of my mayonnaise.
Tedros, you didn't stop?
I stopped. He's being Monty.
He's just eating spoonfuls of mayonnaise now.
Why not?
I would never
It's like
keep it
pudding.
up this long.
All right. I think I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Right. So I'll go and get ready, and then go to meet Cadence in the marketplace.
Yep.
All right. As you go to plan your robbery of Mumbleton Manor, that is where we're going to end for the week.
Yay.
All right. Answers.
Yay.
Woo!
Weirdness.
Mhm.
What?
Nah, no weirdness here.
Learning
Alright.
about the valley.
Yeah.
That was the weird part. Yes. Yeah. That was. Yeah. Monty's dad telling everybody about like the feud between two outsiders. Completely normal. The valley, weird as shit.
The valley does feel weirder for some reason. It feels
Right.
like midsummer.
Mm.
It's so good to be on this side of the knowledge.
I know, right? I know, right?
Oh boy.
All right. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Thank you for watching, audience. We appreciate you